Hello everyone, long time no see for those couple who watched me. Today I'd like to talk about couple things. All about Genshin, of course, as it is in the title, however it will be called. But there are some things I want to get out of my chest. I am surprised with Genshin. Not because of the game is suddenly good, but the game is going in a better direction. Nod-Krai has been surprising, and even the second half of Natlan has been quite surprising, to be honest. There hasn't been much drama, that's why I didn't even make any continuation on my previous video with Natlan and End of Fontaine, because there wasn't much to talk about when it comes to some kind of critique and unrest within the community. It feels like ever since like 5.5, 5.6, everything calmed down. Nothing much has been going on, and nothing much has been problematic. There are still problematic things. We still don't have the resin overflow, we still don't have artifact loadouts, we still have power creep issues, and with the addition of Stygian Onslaught, those power creep issues are much more problematic considering that this mode is not doable on its max difficulty for free-to-play players. And the power creep is now visible also in Imaginary Theater and Sparadis. But first, I wanna go back. At my first video about Natlan, I missed a couple things that I retroactively thought about, which were bad. And I'll put it into perspective with Nod-Krai, because Nod-Krai feels like it's returned to the roots. Reactions once again matter. They are improving the reactions, whatever the reaction is, although mainly it's the Hydro reactions, Bloom, Electrocharged, and so on. But I assume there will be Vaporize, maybe even Freeze, maybe even Hydrocrystallize. Keep me coping, right? Anyway, the thing is that Natlan and Nightsoul in general felt, at least from my own perspective, very underwhelming, very selfish, and very much Natlan-centered. I know, it's the point. Those characters from Natlan were isolated for years, so they should work well together. After all, they are the heroes of Natlan and they work together to defeat the Abyss and yada yada. But when it comes to enjoyment, they didn't work with anything else basically. You needed those characters, and Mavuika raised the ceiling of the damage so much higher than anything else. It's kinda sad, not because of bigger numbers, but because of how big of a difference there is between Mavuika and the rest of the cast. Genshin also introduced with, I believe with Mavuika probably, with Citlali, the large problem with supports, for dedicated supports to couple, let's just say, characters. It all started probably with Mavuika, I'm not sure, maybe I'm mistaken there, but Mavuika was one of the bigger problems there, with Citlali of course, especially because they time-gated the rewards into the second half and Mavuika and Citlali were in the first half, both of them, but hey, these predatory things happen. There's nothing much we can do about it. But then it continued with Escoffier, Skirk, Flens and Inefa, and of course now with Nefer and Loma. It seems like it is a trend that will continue. That is one thing I dislike about the second half of Natlan that happened since then. But aside that, everything feels Genshin-like. One of my biggest critiques has been how weird tech within Natlan works. You have simple huts, you have some tribalistic culture, and then you have DJ poles, you have roller skates, you have motorcycle, you have pixel 3D grappling hooks, and so on. It felt out of the place. There hasn't been anything that would support this. I mean, in the lore probably because of dragon technology and stuff like that. But to someone who doesn't know the lore or doesn't care about the lore, those things might feel cool. They might feel interesting. But at the same time, they might break the immersion, because suddenly you have, in a fantasy setting world, characters which wear the 21st, 20th century clothes. And that's kind of weird, right? But now let me put it into perspective with Nod-Krai, because Nod-Krai is even more tech. It has even more tech feel, like steampunk, and there it works. The reason is simple. We were prepared for that. We weren't prepared for that in Natlan. We wanted just, at least I will talk from my own perspective. I like tribal culture. I like in World of Warcraft playing as orcs. I like playing as savages who just don't belong anywhere in terms of civilized society. But that's what I signed up for. What I did not sign up for is having motorcycle between huts, between desolate places, between deserts. Although Natlan isn't wholly desert or wholly desolate, it has quite nice surroundings and such. But you get my point. It just feels out of place. In Nod-Krai, we were prepared for tech. It would feel weird if we would go into Nod-Krai. We were promised tech, there's traveler spaceship and things like that. And characters would fight with sticks and rocks. That would feel weird and uninteresting. Another thing, I want to praise the second half of Natlan, and to some degree even 6.1 story. I'll be honest, I didn't play it yet, but I at least looked at the time it took to finish the story. Except for 6.0, but that's setup and a lot of things going on to set up the villain, the characters, the place, so it makes kind of sense what is it and what is going on, even if we compare it to WoWa. I know some of you may not like that, but same genre. So yeah, Rinasita and 2.0, that was also pretty long. It had couple acts and it was longer quest, the carnival and so on. So let me get to the point. The Archon quests, since I believe 5.6, there was like first since the ending of Natlan, they all took like 2-3 hours at most. Monster with Albedo and Durin teaser and things like that, and the things with Dine in Natlan, and lastly the Inefa and Nod-Krai prequel story. And now, of course, 6.1 story, all took like that. 6.1 is 6-ish hours, maybe 6.5 hours, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I saw the length of the video. But the point is, they are reducing the length. This is something HSR needed for a long time. I dropped HSR after 3.0 because hell, I'm not going through 40 hours of the story just to get to the good bits, which I can watch on YouTube. But in Genshin, it is nice to see that they are trying to reduce the length, to have it at a reasonable length and pace, which I have to comment, that is great thing. That is good thing. But last thing I want to comment on is the Roblox thing, the Melestra Wonderland or whatever it is called. Sorry, I don't remember the correct names. I'm too lazy to even Google it as I'm recording the video or to prepare even for the video. Anyway, it will have player base. It might grab some people from which enjoy this type of content to see what it is like, to compare it and to play different types of games. And from those couple I played, it was alright. It gave us 2 new characters, which will be like alloy level. It won't be good, but people play alloy for some reason. Those who have her, of course. But aside that, the minigames are fun. I played some. It isn't something extraordinary. It's not like something game-changing, but I had fun. It is fun to play from time to time. The one thing I dislike about it is the monetization, but hey, this will have better chance to milk even more cash because of the cosmetics, and it might draw in even more people. And let's be honest, However's is a multi-dollar company, so they need more. And I believe, oh yeah, one thing. When it comes to rewards, Nod-Krai feels better. We are getting free constellations, we got the new standard selector and things like that, even though it's not new thing. It was like announced 2 months ago at this point, or month ago, whatever. But I feel like it's getting better. To conclude this video, retrospectively, I dislike Natlan even more because of how bad it is, even in retrospective, in comparison to what it is now, how it feels underwhelming, and how bad the mechanic of Night Soul feels. Then, in comparison to Nod-Krai, it's like day and night, where Nod-Krai is back to the roots, back to what is Genshin about reactions, not about big damage, and that's about it. I mean, the endgame is about big damage, but with some kind of combination. Then they reduced the time for Art Conquest, the length of the Art Conquest, which is a really nice thing to do and to play through after all, and they give us more rewards, including new completely new endgame, or not endgame, game mode with Milastra, Wonderland, or whatever it is called. I feel like Genshin is going into good direction, but we will see how bad it will be with power creep and other stuff, predatory monetization stuff like the dedicated supports and so on. But these days, especially in Stygian Onslaught, it is necessary to have all the new characters, all the new toys from the box to even compete with it, especially because endgame is catered towards these characters, and Inefa nowadays is a very valuable character because of Electrocharge. Flames, I'm not sure if you even need him. Inefa is better. Shame I lost 50-50 to her, but it is what it is. Anyway, I expect to make more videos like this because it feels fresh to just speak my mind and just talk about things and not be like, yeah, this shit sucks, and have no platform to talk about it. Anyway, that's it from me today. I'll see you around. See ya.